there's a project in the first quarter, basically table-driven parts. So I want to just begin by drawing a rectangle, because I can. I'm just going to put it anywhere, but I'll put it in this dimension here. And for this one, I'm just going to take a look at the sketch view. And we see that we have a rectangle, right? It's pretty nondescript. So in the tools area, we have this variable table. And as you can see, it's saying that, well, we don't know what it's made out of, right? Because we haven't assigned a material. But if we assign a material, we can find out how many square inches a surface area we have, like if you're trying to figure out total amount of paint to paint, 100 parts. We could say it's made out of this particular material, so we know how much it's going to weigh. So if you make 100 of these things, what's it going to cost to ship? And then we can add other things in. For example, if I go back to my smart dimension here, and I'll get out of that. Now, you see how the dimension up here is 6.947? Up here, it's given it a novel name of 355, and here's that 6.947. So Ashley's closed lock from yesterday is showing that we can unlock the dimension or we can keep it locked, but we can change it right from the table. So let's make this 5. And notice that the model changed. So when I talk about three-dimensional modeling being a mathematical database, this is the transition. It's the mathematics that drive the database, not the other way around. And let's throw another dimension up here. All right, and I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And we'll get out of that. And here it is. So I can come up here and change this to like 2.25. So whenever you're working on the screen and just changing dimensions here, it's recording the whole thing. So instead of being, V355 as a name, we can actually rename this. So if I call this length, whoops, I have to hit enter in order for it to stay. If I call that length, now it means something when I go back to this table. Okay, so if I change the length to like say 6, for example, all right, it's still length, but it is now 6. Now,
so for each, I'm sorry, excuse me, for each draft or for each one of these that you do, the variable table is just for that one, right? Or does the variable table follow you wherever you?
It's the variable table is specific to a part, so it goes all over the place. And in addition to being able to assign formulas in here, we can also tie it to an Excel spreadsheet. So if you were a furniture maker and you wanted to make a whole selection of dining room tables in 6-inch increments, why redesign the whole thing? We just pop formulas in here and say, oh, we want table 12, and it populates every dimension that the table needs, and your drawing goes to table 12, and we can build all these other documents off it, and out it goes. So in order to get into manufacturing, instead of spending 3 or 4 hours manipulating and drawing a new table, we can just do it with a click of a button. So let's call this one width, because we can. And what I want to do and change this from 2.25, and I think, hopefully I'm going to do this right, equals length divided by 3, for example. So it changed the 2.25 to 2 because that's what length divided by 3 is in this case. So if I come up and I say, oh, I really mean you're 8, it changes both dimensions at once. Okay, so this is the way the formulas enter into this. So, and it's just simple little table. It's found on the tools menu, and you can just pull them down as variables, and that brings that up. And so now that this part has it, all that information is saved in the table for your use.
Tom, I can tell by the look on their face, they really like this.
Well, what I'm trying to do is to walk them into seeing the true power of a program like this. It's not about creating pretty pictures, but it's about creating pictures that are jaw-dropping if you need them, but it's also about doing planning for all kinds of things and doing it in a time-effective manner.